May 4th, 2012, from the stylish high-tech underground studios of Ribbit Media in Warwick, Rhode Island, this is NewsUndies. For May 4th, 2012, this is NewsUndies, all the news that shouldn't be news. I'm Paul Torville with these headlines. Tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo. It is also the 5th of May. It's also a Saturday. If ever there was a day to be on the lookout for sobriety checkpoints, I'm just saying. As Mother's Day approaches, adult offspring neurotically wonder what to get the mother who has everything to complain about, while the greeting card cabals and floristas greedily wring their hands. An unremarkable fatal car crash that has nothing to do with the Bronx Zoo other than having happened near it becomes the #2 search on Google Trends. Newt Gingrich has finally, mercifully, cut and run. Suspended his campaign. He's staying in until the convention. But he's not. Fox News speculates your next job could be asteroid miner. For a glimpse into the joys of that lifestyle, see the 2009 Duncan Jones indie sci-fi flick Moon. And, if you really have a strong stomach, the 1981 Peter Hyams gem Outland. One World Trade Center, colloquially known as the Freedom Tower, and the monument to the mediocrity of compromise, may soon be the tallest tower in the West. Or it may not. I don't know. Maybe I should just stop. Coming up after the break, CNN and vulgarity, and fragile faith.
For your upcoming wedding, bat mitzvah, or funeral, trust the professionals at Blah's Florist to create the perfect mood-appropriate arrangement. Your special occasion will be so much more special with a Blah's Florist arrangement. Blah's will help your memories be that much more memorable. Call or click today to order your unique and not at all sexually suggestive arrangement from Blah's Florist. Blah's, the florist you shouldn't fear.
Jessica Simpson's baby. Jimmy Kimmel was the featured comedian at this year's White House Correspondents' Dinner. Kimmel opened his roast with a situationally themed rendition of his long-running gag, Unnecessary Censorship. If you don't know what that is, Google and YouTube are your friends. I don't have time to explain it here. I think Kimmel, or more likely his team of writers and editors, did a masterful job of lampooning censorship and making certain ivory tower elites seem a little more human by not putting words in their mouths. CNN, in a headline, called it vulgar. It was no such thing. CNN is coming at this from the angle that if I say knitter and then do this, knitter, I've insulted black people. Well, funk you, CNN. I'm sorry, f*** you, CNN. Rumors are swirling that Condoleezza Rice may end up as Mitt Romney's running mate. Is this a recipe for success? Here are Pig and Sheep, with their thoughts.
Who was that again? It seems to me this would open Romney up to all sorts of questions about his faith and how out of touch he is. Let's not forget that not long ago the Mormon Church officially viewed African Americans as inferior and still has a less than stellar record with women's equality. Personally, I think Romney is unelectable as president anyway, so his VP pick is moot.
That's what Pig and Sheep think. What are your thoughts? Email them to ovcomments@newsundies.com. CNN, which has really gone downhill since they started doing the 7-camera setups for their single newsreader segments. You know, the camera on the crane, the dude with the steady cam, and 3 or 4 robot cameras, and the one stuffed up in the trusses among the lights, just to read frickin' headlines. Well, CNN has really outdone themselves for stupidest headline since Dewey defeated Truman. This is monumentally dumb. Are you ready for this? Honest to Rip Taylor's wig, I'm not making this up. Quote, study. Analytic thinking can decrease religious belief. End quote. Ara Norenzian, one of the study's co-authors, is quoted in the article as having said, quote, there's much more instability to religious belief than we recognize. End quote. Really? The article then goes on to say, quote, Norenzian is quick to mention that the experiments did not turn devout believers into total atheists. But he speculated that if people habitually think analytically, like scientists or lawyers do, it would lead to less religious belief in the long run. End quote. I barely graduated high school, and even I know that. This numbnuts is a psychologist at the University of British Columbia, and people complain about education in the U.S.? What's worse is the otherwise ostensibly respectable journal Science published the research. I wonder if I wrote a paper on the wetness of water and the tendency of raindrops to keep falling on my head, they'd publish that. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, Nadia Suleiman as Bond Girl and Rupert Murdoch's Bidness Fidness.
It can be hard to think rationally when a loved one passes away. This can be especially true in the event of untimely death or when religious or cultural traditions demand quick interment of remains. Blue and Flatley Funeral Homes are here to ensure your needs are served in the most efficient and profitable way possible. At Blue and Flatley Funeral Homes, your money is very important to us, and we want to make sure we do everything you can afford to put your mind at ease. Blue and Flatley, profiting from the misery of others since 1883.
Osama bin Laden. And now, here's Ryan Hanley with another Jeff Goldblum fact.
You know Jeff Goldblum. When Jurassic Park opened, Jeff Goldblum met Princess Diana. He did have a chance to meet the Queen, but he declined. He figured he saw enough dinosaurs for one lifetime. 'Cause she's old. Back to you.
Thanks, Ryan. Fascinating. And now, here's Moose Weintraub with a Sports Half Minute.
Moose Weintraub Sports Half Minute. It's a whole half minute of sports. 30 seconds of sports. Moose Weintraub Sports Half Minute.
This is your Sports Half Minute. I'm Moose Weintraub. Magic Johnson, who could most recently be seen skyhooking cell phones to old people, is now part owner of the LA Dodgers. Are the Dodgers that cheap, or is he that rich?
Thanks, Moose. Always a great report from Moose. Nadia Suleiman, better known to the world as the Octomom, or as I've heard her called on CNN, the Octomom. Well, she's filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy protection. She said that would never happen. She really needed money, so she posed topless for a British magazine. That was another thing she said would never happen. She still needs money, so guess what she's considering now? That she said she never would. Come on, guess. She's considering acting in a porno. But no touching and no kissing. So that's an appeal. I mean, if I was making a porno, I'm not, but if I was, I would not hire someone like her under conditions like that. I mean, she's not really convincing in her performance as a caring mother. I can't imagine what redeeming, non-touching, non-kissing, dramatic, or aesthetic appeal she might bring to a porno. Or am I just being shallow? And finally, and I do mean finally, we all saw this coming, didn't we? British lawmakers, in a 6-4 decision, have found media mega-mogul magnate Rupert Murdoch unfit to run a company. They did not specify that company. They used an indefinite article, from what I understand. A company. Funeral home? No. Amway distributorship? Yeah, right. Dippin' Dots franchisee? Dream on. David Hasselhoff collectibles dealer? Guess again. Tijuana street vendor selling churros made from dough extruded through old car engine parts? No way, Jose. And that's non-binding. Well, that's all for this edition of NewsUndies. If you see news that shouldn't be news, you can submit your story tips online at newsundies.com. NewsUndies is a bi-weekly show. We'll be back on May 18th with fresh undies. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Paul Torville. After that, I might be tuning my resume for a shot at asteroid mining. No. This is the new mug, the new NewsUndies mug for 2012. Kitsch Cave. Get one. No!